Black and White Network supporters, make sure you check out the Black and White Network merchandise store. Link in the description. Use promo code USA First, all one word. USA First, all one word. 25% off now. I'm back. Rudrance for our Black and White Network. Well, we've sat back and we know all the crime that's going on in leftist cities around the country. Chicago, New York, LA, San Francisco, Seattle, Portland. Most of them have George Soros funded DAs. And crime has just exploded. Alvin Bragg, Kim Fox, George Gascon. The list goes on and on. Ted Wheeler's a mayor in Portland. Jenny Durkin in Seattle. I mean, these are radical leftists. Very socialist mayors, DAs. And they've let crime just take over their cities. Well, now somebody has come out and he's ripped L.A. crime. An actor I actually like. I don't like that many actors, but a lot of people don't realize Frank Grillo is actually 57 years old. He was sort of a late bloomer, but he kind of came to the forefront in the Marvel movies. Even though me, being a horror guy, knows that Frank Grillo was in the Purge movies, the first 2 or 3, I think. And he was damn good in it. Maybe it was Purge 2 when Frank Grillo showed up. I don't know. Whatever it was, he was in the Purge movies. And that's neither here nor there. But you don't very often hear one of these actors come out and slam anybody over crime, anything to do with that might be construed as political. You just don't hear that. And he has come out and done exactly that. Why? Because his boxing trainer and a good friend of his was just shot to death. Just shot to death in L.A. You know, they tried to recall Gascon out there, and them goofy-ass citizens ultimately didn't allow it to happen. What is wrong with you people? I don't get it. Let's get to this. Daily Caller, Marvel's Frank Grillo, he plays Crossbones, rips L.A. crime after his boxing trainer is shot and killed outside of a weed store. There's Frank Grillo right there. Actor Frank Grillo's boxing coach, Azuma Bennett, was struck by gunfire and killed outside of a marijuana dispensary on August 12th in Windsor Hills, L.A. Clients were reportedly waiting for Bennett, who was a staple of Fortune Boxing Gym in L.A. that day, but were unaware that he had been killed before arriving. Tamara Fortune, the gym's owner, told NBC LA. The trainer was hit at least 8 times. Law enforcement said that Bennett died en route to the hospital and are still searching for the ones responsible for Bennett's death, as well as a potential motive. Chaos, maybe, is the motive. Grillo, who portrays Crossbones in Marvel's Captain America franchise, pulled no punches when speaking about Bennett's murder in with NBC LA. Let's listen to this.
He made everybody feel good about training.
Actor Frank Grillo, best known for his roles in several Marvel movies, says Bennett's death is another example of out-of-control crime in the city.
I don't know what's happened to Los Angeles where, a beautiful guy like this gets shot and killed over nothing.
Bennett's friends have set up a GoFundMe page to help send him back to his family in Australia. They're pleading for the public's help to find his killer and report tips to the LA County Sheriff's Homicide Bureau.
Someone knows something, and we need them to speak.
How much did he mean to you?
He meant a lot to me. Definitely will have him in my soul forever.
In Hollywood, Ted Chen, NBC4.
I mean, that's absolutely crazy. But at least this guy, you hate to say it, but when something like this happens, it at least brings some extra attention to a problem. Because, look, the mainstream media is just not covering this stuff. Okay? They're not. Your CNNs, your MSNBCs, it's only Fox News and Newsmax and OAN that actually are covering this just out-of-control violence that's going on in these towns. It's absolutely nuts. Bennett was originally from Australia, moved to L.A. 3 years ago. The New York Post reported a GoFundMe page was created by Fortune to raise money for his family to send his body back to his homeland, make arrangements, and take care of his personal belongings. Homicides during the first half of the year in L.A. are at the highest level in a decade and are on pace for a 15-year high, according to ABC7. The surge in crime continues a trend in the city for 2 years, where homicides are up 46.7%. And look, the catalyst here is, again, woke progressive mayors and the embracing of the defund the police movement surrounding the death of Saint George Floyd. My God, that whole thing with George Floyd that happened has killed so many damn people across the country. It is absolutely insane. Why? Because it elevated and turned criminals into heroes, while the innocents, the victims, are actually paying the price. They have become, they've devalued the people that are being harmed, basically elevated the value of criminals. And I wasn't raised like that in Texas. You never ever are going to put the priorities of the criminal ahead of the victim, ever. But this is commonplace in these radical leftist cities. Good Lord, every week I do an update video on Chicago's weekend of terror, as we call it. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Hate to see anybody lose their life, but look, Frank Grillo came out and made a statement, and believe it or not, he'll probably get some backlash over this internally around Hollywood circles. Because, they've come out and they want to defund the police, these Hollywood elites, but they don't tell the private citizens while they're running their mouth. They all have private security that cost, $10, $15, $20, $30, $50,000 a month, and they're living in gated communities, and or they've got massive fences around their places like compounds. Of course they're not worried about crime. It's they don't care about the regular citizen. Don't ever think they do. They don't. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.